And gentlemen, to our lecture number 13 for the course for the course reading 102 with me, Abdullah Al-Milham. Okay, so lecture 13 we will discuss a new a new unit, and this unit will be about language, literacy and bilingual education. So اللغة, literacy, الأمية وbilingual education وتعليم اللي يتخلى لغتين أو 3 لغات. We call it bilingual education. Okay. In this passage we're going to talk about Antonio's first day of school. اليوم الأول دراسي بالنسبة لي أنطونيو. Okay. We have several words here. We have auditorium, which means a big place that you do some celebrations in school, or you do shows in school. So auditorium is hall, means hall, which is قاعة أو قاعة احتفالات. Band means to link. Cavernous, something that's very deep, like a cave thing. So cavernous, متكهف. Crumble, like break. متشتت. We can say, for example, when you wear a leather jacket, after you wear it for the whole day, the leather jacket crumbles. It starts to crumble. So it's not like very straight, it crumbles. That's the meaning of crumble. Fascinated, dazzled, like dazzled from seeing, this, for example, football court, or this big house is fascinating. It's really wonderful. I'm very attracted to it. So this is the meaning of fascinating. No, which means when you make no on a wall or on a wooden wall, تعمل عملية نخر. Okay, no, نخر. Grounds, which means grounds. Okay. menacing, مؤتمن, someone who you trust. Outcast, we called someone who is not wanted is an outcast. So in the old days in the United States, for example, they have these people who are called outcasts, people who were thrown out of the city, no more wanted in the city. These people are called outcasts. Okay. Regards here, respect. For example, when I say send your regards to your mother or your father, means send my respect to them. Shame, okay, which means ar. Soul, which means your soul. Ruh, swarm, a group. We usually, for example, when we talk about cattle and birds, we say a swarm of cattle, a swarm of birds. Trick, when you cut your way through, for example, let's say a jungle. Okay, so you trick your way through this jungle. Okay, trick معناته شو. Union, which mean, for example, when we say unionship. Okay, so union, when you gather, when you have a union, you gather people or some friends, and you have a union. Okay, اجتماع. So union, اجتماع متوحد. Okay, اجتماع متوحد. Okay, we'll talk about the vocabulary definitions. Yawning, large and open. Foreign tongue, a foreign language. So when English is considered a foreign tongue to me, it means that this language is a foreign language. Sounds that seem to gurgle from its belly. Low bubbling sounds came from deep inside the school. Okay, so ¿Cómo te llamas?, which is Spanish for what is your name. So when someone says to you, Come te llamas, or come te llamas means what's your name. Tortilla, a kind of bread commonly used in Mexico. So it's a food. So it's the same as the food that we are used to, the tortilla. So this is a kind of type of food. La tristeza de la vida means the sadness of life in Spanish. Okay, I'll start with the reading passage. Antonio's first day of school. On the first day of school, I awoke with a sick feeling in my stomach. So Antonio is the narrator here, so he tell us the story, so he's speaking of himself. So on the first day of school, I awoke with a sick feeling in my stomach. So he feels sick in his stomach. حس بألم في معدته في أول يوم دراسي، في أول يوم صحفي للمدرسة. It did not hurt, just made me feel weak. The sun did not sing as it came over the hill. Today I would take the goat path and trek into town for years and years of schooling. For the first time I would be away from the protection of my mother. I was excited and sad about it. Somehow I got the school grounds, but I was lost. Okay, so he managed to be in the school ground. He managed to be في منطقة المدرسة. لكن I was lost. لكن ضيع طريق بشكل أو بآخر. The school was larger than I had expected. It's huge. Yawning doors were menacing. I looked for my sisters, but every face I saw was strange. I looked again at the doors of the sacred halls, but I was too afraid to enter. My mother had said to go to Miss Mattis, but I did not know where to begin to find her. I had come to the town, and I had to come to school, and I was very lost and afraid in the nervous, excited swarm of kids. It was then that I felt a hand on my shoulder. I turned and I looked into the eyes of a strange red-haired boy. He spoke English, a foreign tongue. So he says that Antonio is not English, he is Spanish. So for him, English is a foreign tongue. First grade was all I could answer. He smiled and took my hand, and with him I entered school. The building was cavernous and dark. It had strange, unfamiliar smells and sounds that seemed to gurgle from its belly. There was a big hall and many rooms, and many mothers with children passed in and out of the rooms. I wished for my mother, but I put away the thought because I knew I was expected to become a man. A radiator snapped with the steam and I jumped. The red-haired boy laughed and led me into one of the rooms. This room was brighter than the hall, so it was that I entered school. Miss Mattis was a kind woman. She thanked the boy whose name was Red for bringing me in and then asked my name. I told her I did not speak English. ¿Cómo te llamas? She asked. Antonio Mares, I replied. I told her my mother said I should see her and that my mother sent her regards. She smiled. Antonio Mares, she wrote in a book. I drew closer to look at the letters formed by her pen. Do you want to learn to write? She asked. Yes, I answered. Good, she smiled. I was fascinated by the black letters that formed on the paper and made my name. Miss Mattis gave me a crayon and some paper, and I sat in the corner copying my name over and over. She was very busy the rest of the day with other children that came to the room. Many cried when their mothers left. I sat in my corner alone and wrote. By noon I could write my name, and when Miss Mattis discovered that, she was very pleased. At noon we opened our lunches to eat. Miss Matz left the room and the high school girl came and sat at the desk while we ate. My mother had packed a small jar of hot beans and some good green jelly wrapped in tortillas. When the other children saw my lunch, they laughed and pointed again. Even the high school girl laughed. They showed me their sandwiches, which were made of bread. Again, I did not feel well. I gathered my lunch and slipped out of the room. The strangeness of the school and the other children made me very sad. I did not understand them. I sneaked around the back of the school building, and standing against the wall I tried to eat, but I couldn't. A huge lump seemed to form in my throat, and tears came to my eyes. I yearned for my mother, and at the same time I understood that she had sent me to this place where I was an outcast. I had tried hard to learn, and they had laughed at me. I had opened my lunch to eat, and again they had laughed and pointed at me. The pain and sadness seemed to spread to my soul, and I felt for the first time what the grown-ups call la tristeza de la vida. Wanted to run away, to hide, to run and never come back, never see anyone again. But I knew that if I did, I would shame my family name, that my mother's dream would crumble, would fall apart, would break. I knew I had to grow up and be a man, but oh, it was so very hard. But no, I was not alone. Down the wall near the corner, I saw two other boys who had sneaked out of the room. They were big boys. I knew they were from the farms of Delaya. Okay, so I stopped here and I didn't continue the passage. Again, this passage is very long, and we don't need the whole passage for either for the test. If we're going to use it in the test, so I end here with paragraph 16, or part of it. Okay, multiple choice questions. The first multiple choice question we have is the word fascinated means. So fascinated. So fascinated here, the word means very interested. You know, when you are very interested, you look at something, oh, this thing is great. Or not interested, it's interesting, this thing is not good. Good, just simple good, or decent, less than good. So the right answer is very interested. You know, oh, this looks very great. Okay, so A is the answer for number 1. So number 1, the word fascinated means very interested. Number 2, the word outcast means A, rejected person. So a person who is rejected is a person who's been said, you know, to go, to leave a place, you know, not wanted. B, beloved person, someone who is loved. Okay, I love someone, or all of us love Ahmed. Ahmed is a beloved person. C, wanted person, someone you want. D, traveler. Okay, someone who travels from one place to another. Okay, obviously the answer is A, rejected person. So the word outcast means a rejected person. Number 3, the opposite of the word shame. Opposite of the word shame. Okay, shame is when you say in Arabic we say ar. Okay, is it pride? You know, when you feel great about yourself. Is it humility? When you feel, you know, you amongst people, you try to be, you know, modest. You try to be good. You know, you don't try to show off. Okay, is it swarm or is it band? The right opposite for shame. Shame is ar. Pride is fakhr. Okay, so so A is the right answer. So the opposite of the word shame is pride. A, pride. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you on the last lecture.